Hey, all the Geek Freaks. I am Frank, and I'm joined by John.
Well, hello.
And we're recording in person today. It is my birthday, so we are doing things a little bit differently today. We're going to kind of be a little more relaxed on this episode.
Happy birthday, Frank.
Thank you. I would rather put out a relaxed episode than no episode, so that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to go over a couple things in the news, nothing crazy, and then we're going to be pulling topics. I've got a game idea that I've been thinking about. We're going to give it a shot. But it should be a pretty chill episode. How's your week been, John?
It's been pretty good. I've been getting over being sick, but I'm doing a lot better. I haven't felt sick. Just got this lingering cough. So if you hear me coughing, I don't think I'll get you sick.
Well,
but
yeah, that's a great gift. Yeah, let's see.
All
right, let's just go ahead and get right into the news then. First off, Shogun season 2. We got some news on that. They're beginning the filming of that in January. We find out it's a 10-year jump. Did you have a chance to watch Shogun?
I haven't. What streaming service is that on?
That's on Hulu.
Yeah, I have.
And I promise you have Hulu. Wink, wink.
I do. Yeah, no, and we have it with our Disney subscription.
Okay, yeah, I bought it as well.
Yeah. But I don't think I've even seen like a trailer for that.
Oh, Jonathan, think of the Game of Thrones politics.
Yeah.
In Japan, but it's all kind of a true story.
Oh, okay.
And the Portuguese are bad guys in it.
Oh, that's
so we get to play villains.
I like how we in modern history, as far as I understand it, we all of the bad things the Portuguese have done has just been kind of buried. So
yeah, it's pretty far back.
I don't think people know. Yeah, that's good.
Now we just like to drink and be merry. Yeah, we're cool with that.
Exactly.
But yeah, in this show we're not. So we're like purposely starting the Portuguese. I should stop saying we. The Portuguese are purposely starting like a war and trying to keep Japan to themselves, so they lie about everybody else.
Well, these were some of the trade powers in the time, right?
Yeah,
that's what it is like which one can bring things to market or whatever.
And Japan had unique goods, and we're a very big trading partner, and we had again there's the we. Like I was part of Portugal in the 1400s.
Yeah,
my ancestors were. They're raising horses. But anyway, so but yeah, they ended up kidnapping some of them to make them soldiers and stuff like that, because they were hell of good soldiers.
Yeah, with
the samurais and all the samurai training and stuff. Anyway, so the story's gonna be jumping 10 years because at the end of season 1, it actually was complete with a book. Mm-hmm. The book ends with okay, here's the preparation for the war, and then we enter into the Edo era, and that's how it ends. But everybody's like, no, I want to see what happens in that war. I want to see what happens after that war. And they're like, well, there's no book for that. Such a big hit, won a pile of awards.
Yeah,
make it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know it won awards too.
It won huge. like all the Emmys.
Was this a few years ago though?
Last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You'll see this is Toranaga is that guy right there. You probably saw a lot of that art.
Yeah, for sure.
That's Toranaga, and it's an incredible story. I can't suggest it enough for you, Jonathan. You gotta check that out.
I think the problem is Asian history in general is like a major blind spot for me. I'm no historian anyways.
Most of the Western culture though, not just
yeah. So it's like there's not. I mean, Game of Thrones being based on European history loosely. I mean, and fantasy especially. Like that kind of has the hooks that are easy to dive into.
Right.
But with not really having a basis for much of Asian history, it leaves it to where there's not a good hook to really pull you in, I think.
Well, and it's what's nice is there's so many tropes that you don't know yet.
Yeah.
When I do watch some like Korean dramas or whatever, there's usually like a buffoon character. I use air quotes.
Yeah.
A character who's like overly silly, but that's like a norm for them. Mm-hmm. But for us Western audience, it's like, what is the deal with this guy? He doesn't seem like he's working with the rest of the show.
It's like breaking the fourth wall almost with how silly he is.
Exactly.
So they have the same thing in Hispanic and Mexican
do they?
TV too.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean more than just the one that's just silly, but they'll easily have I can't remember the name of the show. People are probably screaming it if they are listening to the podcast, but where it's all grown adults, but they're playing kids.
Oh, it's an old school one.
Yeah, they get one kid with the spinny hat and stuff like that.
Yep.
The I don't even know how to describe it, but
I couldn't tell you anything about that show, but the imagery of it has transcended the culture.
So in so many different shows, they have those same tropes, like you're saying. So that's kind of cool to see it in different cultures, though it's so foreign to our culture.
Yeah,
but it's not foreign to everybody else.
So that's what's nice is like when a show like this gets popular, which is made by Americans, we know that, but they're also using books and stuff like that, knowledge from that area.
Yeah,
it's really cool to kind of see and explore. So that's one thing you got to check out Shogun if you guys haven't yet. Yeah. The new one's gonna be jumping 10 years in the future. Nice. Toranaga now has his established alliance and has taken over the country. We're in the Edo era, but it's this time when it's like, I've conquered it, but how do I control it? And there are still like ongoing battles. And he has Blackthorn, he's a British sailor who came here and kind of like was adopted by Toranaga essentially because he was like, I like this guy. He thinks well. And he first came here, basically he was a pirate. And so pirates are normally killed immediately. And the Portuguese are saying like, oh no, he's a pirate. You got to get rid of him. But it's because the Portuguese didn't want the British to know about Japan. And so there's this whole conflict thing. And in this one now, we have a point where the British are probably actively involved in Japan. The Portuguese might be even pulling back or possibly putting more pressure on the situation. It's a very interesting story at that point.
Man, I like it.
Valve releases or announced something called the new Stream Machine. Steam Machine. Have you had a chance to look at this?
I'd seen a video, like a teaser about it or something like that.
What are your thoughts on them making a new... They had tried this in the past, didn't work, but what do you think about this new one?
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. It's like they're trying to break into an industry that's trying to break into them. I think Sony...
Well said, really, yeah.
I think Sony and Xbox, or Microsoft, are trying to get slowly... We've talked about it for probably the last 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
At some point, they're just going to be making PCs, gaming PCs, that are branded with their brand and they're made for playing their games, but it's kind of cross-platform merging into the devices. So now Steam, who's very well-known and effective on PC, is trying to get into the console war. That's but it's like at the end, it seems like it's at the end of the console war.
When the console war was done.
Yeah.
And the thing to add on top of that is we already know the new Xbox is going to have Steam on it. Matter of fact, not even the new Xbox, likely the Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
Will have Steam on it once the new update comes out for it.
Yeah.
So it's weird to then add a new machine. They've tried this in the past, and it's one thing if you're trying to revolutionize something or capture an audience that's not there.
Yeah.
First of all, the machine that's coming out is almost as good as a Series X or PS5.
Question is, what's the price point? Is this a completely...
We don't have a price point yet.
Yeah. So if it comes out at $300,
you go.
I think they're breaking the industry. Yeah.
But it won't.
Yeah, no.
Not with the technology that's inside. It just can't.
See, they just like, I guess, Microsoft and Sony too, they make so much more money on the content because they want you to subscribe and they want you to download their games, right? That's 99% of their business. So if they can make this device, now that technology's evolved over the last, since Xbox started doing their thing, they could probably make it a lot cheaper than it used to be. So if they can make it even where at cost, like we know Xbox used to do, pretty much sell them equipment at cost.
Oh yeah, he used to have to deal with that.
If they can do that and be undercutting the other guys because it's so much smaller, it doesn't have a disc tray, it's just a small PC, with the memory and all the stuff to handle gaming. If they can bring down the cost to be competitive, then I think they are putting the nail in the coffin to the competition.
So it is all about cost. That's a good point. Because when I first was thinking about this, like, man, this really is kind of all we've been talking about.
Yeah.
This is the machine we should be wanting. So why are we not excited about this? And I think it's because if the audience that they can't find is an audience that likes PC gaming but doesn't have a gaming PC and wants to go play console instead. Like, who does that? Yeah. You're a console gamer. You own a more powerful console than this already.
Yeah.
For some reason, at this point, you don't have a PS5 or something like that. It's already been 5 years. Already talking about the next systems.
Yeah.
Or if you have a fixed Steam library, then you have a PC that plays those Steam games.
Yeah, but I think this is for those people, this newer generation, the Fortnite players, for example.
Okay.
And that PC is in their bedroom, but they don't necessarily always want to be in their bedroom. So mom and dad get this for the living room.
At that point, why are you not? Okay, I can see if Fortnite's a tough one. I see what you're saying. You're using Fortnite as an example, but not necessarily Fortnite.
Yeah, just young gamers.
A PC game.
Modern, no, not even, modern, PC gamers who haven't been.
What I'm saying is Fortnite is available on all the consoles too.
Yeah, but
so why not just have an Xbox One?
But if you have a computer at home, why would you go buy a PlayStation 1 because you like Fortnite?
I see. Yeah.
It's an expensive thing to get into.
You're building your library too. There's definitely some merit to that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot. I imagine most of this new generation probably doesn't own consoles because there's such good content. If you were today just starting like, I want to check out video games, I've never played them before, would you go and buy a computer that can do everything a computer can do and play video games? Or would you spend $500 on an Xbox or PlayStation? You
know what? I think even to double down on you on that, I don't think this current generation or the younger kids, the generation alpha, even have PCs that are strong. Matter of fact, I'm dealing with, Zayden, basically a cousin nephew. Yeah. Godson, there we go. Yeah. Who me and him built this computer for him so he could play all these different games on it. Yeah. He loved it all the time. Now he's like, I'm not so much into gaming anymore, and he wants to sell it. Oh. Well, I'm like, unfortunately, buddy, I told him I'll look around, and I'm like, unfortunately, it was outdated a couple years after we built it, especially for like my friends. If he's trying to sell it at the value that he bought it, you just won't. That's not a thing.
Yeah. The technology evolves too fast to keep up with something like that.
And so I don't think the kids have computers like that anymore. And I think for the most part, they're playing mobile games and stuff like that as well.
And more stuff can be like web-based, right? Like it doesn't have to be.
And we have the
streaming is getting better.
Like the cloud streaming that Xbox is really pushing especially, but PlayStation has just invested deeply in with their new... they have that PlayStation Portal. They've just upgraded the options on that to where they're also investing in that technology. Is not there yet. Yeah. But it doesn't mean it won't be there someday.
Yeah.
That's totally optional. It's just weird that this machine comes out now. I feel like this machine is either 5 years too late or not strong enough. But you might be right in that the solution is it's just going to be cheap as hell.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the price. If it's priced right, then it'll at least make a big impact in the market.
At $200, I might pick it up. Actually.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because then it's like, why go through the hassle of having the second computer that takes up a lot more power and a lot louder when you could have this little quiet thing?
Yeah.
That is the niche. We'll keep an eye on that price then.
Imagine when we go set up at conventions, you want to have something that people can play. Oh, you don't have to bring your Switch. Yeah,
that is a nice little move.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice.
Okay. You are making a good argument for that. Next up, we're going to be looking at two different trailers that you have not seen yet.
Correct.
We're going to get your reaction from those. We're going to be doing a little bit pausing in the podcast to do this. It'll be just one moment, guys. All right, John. So we are back. Yeah. What is your immediate reaction?
This looks freaking amazing.
Yeah.
December 17th is too soon for me to go back and play the game before.
But you can rewatch the first season. I'm going to.
Oh, definitely going to rewatch the first season. There's a lot I don't think I remember. Maybe there's a time jump or just a gap in my memory. Probably both. But I hope we see more vaults. I know you've explained some of the different vaults and how they're each just like a crazy different experiment pretty much and so unique. That's kind of the interesting charm or something like that of the show is that each vault is just crazy.
It somehow adds, oh boy, here it is. Thomas, I expect my DMs. It's much like Star Trek. Just land on a random planet that has new rules in that planet. And you're like, okay, that's the rules from today.
That's a perfect example though. Cause you meet a different alien species, something like that. And all the rules just change based on what they want to set up that story to be. And so each vault can have like, this one, they modified everybody to not breathe oxygen. They breathe this other stuff or something like that. And it's like, okay, well, how does that change the politics in there or something?
Exactly. Yeah.
Plants don't grow the same or what's going on?
Yeah. And in this new trailer with this new season, it feels like they're embracing the weird.
Yeah.
Which is something that I think makes Fallout stand out from, say, The Last of Us or any other apocalyptic story.
I think they did a good job with season 1, not going too far, but testing the waters, feeling out the boundaries. And then like, oh man, people love this. Okay, we can go a little bit deeper. Maybe each season, it gets a little bit more weird to where if you were to start season 1 like that, people would have been pushed away or turned off from it. But as long as you get in the water gradually.
And then for those who are interested in New Vegas, so this takes place in New Vegas, but this takes place also 15 years after the game New Vegas.
Yeah.
So one of the things, I know you hadn't played New Vegas, and I know I played it like tangentially through Daniel.
Yeah.
But what you saw there are what's called the Kings.
Yeah.
And I was telling you about
Elvis ghouls.
While we were watching, I was telling you about how a lot of the games are all about these factions, you choose a faction you want to win. The Kings were a faction where it was all Elvis impersonators.
Yeah.
Well, in this, probably future in this 15-year jump, the player, quote unquote, probably chose to not help the Kings out. And so they were left on the waste side. And they're all ghouls now. They weren't ghouls before. Yeah,
that's a cool thing, a cool perspective to look at it under is like, how did the player that we're watching throughout the narrative make decisions in the game?
And it's one of those things where it's like an Easter egg that does not need to change anything in the show.
Yeah,
but it's but those who are like super fans are like, oh man, this guy didn't go with the Kings.
Man,
must have went with the Roman Empire or whatever.
Yeah,
which we do see Macaulay Culkin with I can't remember the exact name of them, but they're themed off of the Roman empires.
Yeah,
we see him killing a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to see Macaulay Culkin working again.
Oh,
He's got a few gigs going now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Stuff. And his brother's been acting again for a while now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Kieran Culkin. He's been doing really good with Succession and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's Succession.
Yeah. Any other highlights out of this? It looks like everything's getting a bigger scale. Looks like we're going to a big Civil War next, or setting that up for the third season.
We see cool gadgets with her loading up that like fist cannon thing.
Like a little punching gun thing.
I like that she's pursuing her dad and like going to bring him to justice, and then what's his name? The ghoul, the main guy,
Walton Goggins.
He's like kind of smirking, like, okay, what do you think justice is? You think there's still some kind of order in this world?
Yeah.
You're in it. How do you not realize like you're gonna bring him back to your vault or something? Like you think your vault is the justice? Your vault is just broken as everything else.
Exactly. That's one of the best things about this show and the story is the fact that like she is holding her dad to the standards that her dad taught her. And the ghoul's trying to say, like, man, those standards don't exist. You were in a fairy tale.
Exactly.
You were being manipulated.
Fairy tale.
and I love how right now her current stance after season 1 is like, well, I'm not weak like that anymore. But it's like, you still think you're going to bring your dad to justice? The only thing you can do is put a bullet in his head. That's the only thing you can do.
You're trying to bring this fairy tale to be true, and you're fighting against an entire world that doesn't work that way. So that's cool.
It's going to be a good season. We'll have to. I'll definitely be rewatching number 1, but maybe we'll go over a couple of the game stories and stuff like that from New Vegas.
Yeah,
and reflect on those too. But that should be good.
Man, that looks awesome.
All right, next up, let's watch the Super Mario Galaxy movie trailer. Jonathan, what do you think?
That does look really dope. I feel like I'm just such a bad person for this because I don't remember playing much of the games, so I'm sure there's so many big things that stand out in there that are huge to Mario fans.
Same here, though, honestly, because I was like, oh, yeah, Mario Galaxy. I think I played that on the GameCube.
Right. And like, how many Marios has there been? Maybe 30. I don't know. There's a lot of, renditions of it. That's probably way too many. But yeah, it's still just the movie in general looks really dope. At the end of the first movie, did they shrink Bowser? Was that how it ended? I didn't remember that.
Yeah. So now they have him under control, and obviously he's trying to, quote unquote, rehabilitate himself or whatever. He's trying to be like, a good guy now. Yeah. That's not going to work. Yeah. Obviously. We see Bowser Jr. and he has like his ink abilities from Mario Sunshine.
Okay.
That's coming into play. So they're clearly just not doing just the galaxy alone.
Yeah.
We have Princess Rosalina, who's a badass, who is the protector of the galaxy that is, calling Mario to come help the galaxy. I just really like that. It feels like, a planet hopping adventure, which is how the game is, but to see these different worlds is very much like playing a Mario game where you're like, oh, we're in the desert world now. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Who's making these Mario movies?
Illumination, which does the
Despicable Me. Yeah. Because the animation style is really nice. It looks like, I love it's not so, it's a good, God, I can't speak today. You can edit all this out. Very good mashup of the video game style without changing it too much to make it, modified for movies. Yeah, but it's very much polished to
still
be
feels its own. It is still like not just using the movie's or the video game's assets.
Yeah.
But
they're not ruining the process of. Yeah,
I think the best example of that, my favorite, is the music, because the music feels this is a soundtrack for a movie, but you get those little tones that kick that nostalgia gear in. Yeah, and suddenly like, oh, that's right, I'm playing Mario. I think personally I'm gonna have to replay Galaxy. I ended up buying like the triple pack on the Switch. Yeah. So I think I'll be revisiting that because I haven't played that game in ages. And people, when I made a video about this for TikTok, people are like, oh, that character's from here. Oh, this thing's from there. So I'm like, oh, okay. So there are more references than I'm familiar with.
This might be the time to watch somebody do like a speed run or something like that, just so you get the story of it without the time that it takes to play the game.
Which I do that often when there's like a big game coming out, like, oh, new God of War coming out. I was like, okay, let me watch somebody play the last one because holy cow.
Exactly.
There's a lot of story there.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful, fresh. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Next up, Jonathan, I want to show you new images got released for the Legend of Zelda movie. They're making a live action Legend of Zelda movie. And all we got some behind the scenes, what would that be called? Like leaks that are going on, but we're not going to share those without spoilers. These are just straight up images. So what do you think about the look of our Link and Zelda? So we have two images coming across. We have one of them where they're standing next to each other, and then we have close-ups of their face. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine it. It's hard because you're adapting something that looks so low quality. Well, there's newer versions.
The newer ones, the original Kingdom, stuff like that.
There's beautiful. Not much. Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's as good as you can imagine, right?
It feels like they're going for as close to accurate as possible.
Yeah.
And when I was watching Straw Hat Goofy today, we're going to be talking about the Moana trailer after this, and it's the same thing for that too, where I think How to Train Your Dragon taught something to Disney and to other companies that like people just want the live action version. They don't want an interpretation. They want it to be the live action version.
So do you agree with that?
I think.
You just want a live action scene for scene copy of a movie you already saw?
Here's the thing. I think if you're going to make a TV show, like if you're going to change the medium in a more dramatic way, like if you're taking Lion King and making it into a TV series, I'm thinking like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air kind of thing, like if you're making a comedy into a drama, then yes, go ahead and interpret it yourself. But if you're just going to make that movie again 20 years later on, Yeah, you know what? Honestly, we know it works. Just make it again. And it might not be for me. That's fine. But at least I know my kids will like it because the original's a banger.
That's a good place for it too. I agree. If you're going to remake it with new styles and stuff that matches modern technology and trends and whatnot, but you're making it beat for beat story, I assume they wouldn't expect I'm going to watch it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be for the kids who haven't seen number one before.
Right. But it's still giving you something new to look at too, in a way. You know?
I'll bring my kids to the theater and I'll sit and watch it with them. But I know I'm not watching the one that was made for me. This one's obviously made for them.
Yeah. There's a thing too where like, I think for us, you remember when we used to watch like Jungle Book, we used to watch Robin Hood. These movies came out before our time, but they're favorites from our childhood because they would re-release them out of the vault. They don't have that aspect of the child today. There's no Disney movie coming out of the vault, so you got to go run to Walmart and pick up the VHS for Marco.
But there's so much fresh content. It's like they produce so much faster nowadays and more competition in the markets and stuff.
So, but to reuse the old stories that are very good stories, for us, they would re-release them out of the vault or whatever. But for Marco, they have to like make it again for him, right?
Yeah, like Snow White, for example.
Yeah.
That's the oldest Disney thing, I think.
Yeah, Disney
animated
movie. Yeah.
But he actually liked the new one. I did too. We all went to the theaters and saw it together, and I was surprised he at 4 years old was able to sit in a theater and stay engaged with the whole movie. So that one was a little different though, because it was a different a retelling of the story in a different way. So I think that version of remaking a movie is something I like more, is seeing it told again differently. Aladdin didn't really nail it, but it was the same style.
But they had new songs like that, and that was a little bit interesting. When we're looking at this, though, because we're going to get into Moana, so we'll go further into this conversation then. But for this one here, when you're doing an adaptation of a video game, I think maybe just sticking as close as possible to it is good. If we look at, say, The Last of Us, which is one of the very best adaptations, I think, out there. Even the fans knew, or even the players knew, like, there's going to be a downfall in season 2 because it has to be. We knew what to expect, and but then we're like more forgiving of the show because like, that's just what has to be. But then when they change something, like the way Ellie acts, Ellie? Yeah, I think that's right. Ellie acts, and we're like, well, wait a minute. We love her because she's so broken in the games, and you guys are making it to where she's happy to be, part of her new life. It's like, no, she's still supposed to be broken. Joel just died, so I think if you're going to adapt a game because we're so emotionally attached to it, you have to stick to the truth of it.
And when you're adapting a game to a movie or series, you're not remaking the movie that was on the big screen and putting it back in the big screen.
That's true. You're changing mediums.
So you're changing audiences for the most part.
Yeah.
So you're going from a well-written script that was played out and tested in a game player audience.
Yeah.
And now you're like, okay, this was of the 10 games we made in the last 5 years or whatever. This one was the story that everybody loved. Okay, let's redo that story, but for the big screen and see if it catches that audience just the same.
Yeah.
So in that case, I don't think you need to change anything because it was tested and you have a fresh consumer base to see it.
And at the end of the day, it just looks gorgeous. I mean, like those costumes look super as accurate as possible. They nearly cosplay.
Yeah.
I think it's as good as we could expect, especially with all the hoopla that was in early casting discussions.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty sick.
And I hope if they're really taking their time with this, it's because they're looking at the long term, not just this is going to be a flash in the pan movie, but that this can be an expanding world. Yeah.
And the comments immediately were like, "This is our next Lord of the Rings." Is it like? I mean, that's you're setting a high standard. Don't compare it to the next Lord of the Rings. Try to just have a good fun fantasy movie.
Yeah.
You can't make Mozart every time, but I'm not going to turn it away.
But when Lord of the Rings was made and there was nothing like it before to compare it to, remember, that's such a.
Well, we're like, this is the next Willow.
Yeah. Right.
What was what we're comparing it to before it? Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully they're doing that too. That, don't compare yourself specifically to one thing, but, be the next wave, the next big change.
Nowadays we have Marvel that's kind of the kind of like, I would say beating drum of Hollywood in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But we had a certain moment there. Yeah. Where we had Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter coming out at the same time.
Yeah.
Like who knew we were having once in a generation trilogies or, franchises coming out side by side.
Yeah.
It's wild. I'm very, very lucky. Let's go to one of, I think, Disney's best successes of the last 20 years.
Yeah. I don't know. So I'm a big Moana fan too. I love the movie. Watched it 100 times.
Music's in my playlist. My Disney playlist. Yeah.
And so that's what really sells it to us for Disney movies in particular is the music, the songs. And I like all the songs from this movie, but they're going to be re-releasing the same songs, re-recorded maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's going to hit the same because it's the same thing we've already seen.
The level of accuracy on this thing, it reminds me very much of How to Train Your Dragon in the fact that like that is the shot.
Yeah.
Like they straight up the hand going around on the outside of the canoe to the way the baby's being introduced to the ocean. I mean, shot for shot.
They're not using storyboard panels. They're playing the movie next to them, and just standing in the frame.
They probably got it like on a little like portable DVD player next to us. Like, do this, do that thing where she's doing this, do that now. You know, it feels shot for shot. The one of the things I'm a little bit worried about, I think it's amazing that all the studios to have this problem. They look cheap. These movies to me look cheap because it's like they're so obviously on green screen that you kind of feel that like yellow tint on everything. Like it's like even the people are being rendered in another way with like CGI help or something like that. It just feels cheap in a way. And it's like, you are Disney.
Yeah.
Go to locations. I know they went on a lot of locations, but like make it feel like you're on location. It doesn't feel like that sometimes.
And I wonder if that, I mean, because they know how to make it flawless. We've seen it plenty of times. Yeah. So I wonder if that's something they're doing with these, where they're reusing a story, so they're not spending much money on the script and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're reusing probably some of the actors and stuff.
There is The Rock is back. It sounds like the singer is back. But that's a different actor that's playing Moana. But I mean, that voice.
And you don't see The Rock's face in this.
No, you just see his back. Yeah, they haven't revealed him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe they're just cutting corners. And so that's what I'm wondering. Is this a way to just a cash grab, a way to make a lot of money off of the IP they already have?
Yeah.
You know, or
this is probably the first one in a long time that I'm actually going to watch live action Disney movies.
Did you see the Lilo and Stitch one?
I did see that actually.
Yeah, I didn't even go see it. I just wasn't interested in it being the same story.
The ending was awful.
Yeah, and that's what I heard too from like right away. The reviews are so negative. It's like, oh, okay, no, don't want to waste my time.
Ohana means go get a college degree and live with your sister and hang out with the neighbors.
Yeah,
that's what Ohana means now.
That's just so crazy. Like if you're going to change something about the story, why would you change the part of the story? Oh man, I mean, it gets people talking. I guess it's just
but I mean, for the wrong reasons.
Off,
and it pisses me off because then it's like, well, nobody that's a movie that's been rehashed like a mother, but then nobody go watches Elio, which by the way, Disney Mom's Gone Wrong just has an episode that just came out today on that.
Nice.
And I think Elio is a fun little blast. Did you watch Elio?
No.
I know Susie did because she liked it a lot.
I even asked Marco the other day because it's got space and stuff in it. And so I was like, "Oh, do you want to watch this?" And he wasn't interested. So okay,
it's got a lot of jokes and stuff like that. Specifically, there's a clone version of him that they make.
Yeah,
it's just like I forget what it is, but like he gets like a fork in his eye or something like that, where he's obviously like, "We need to talk." It's like it's adorable. You have to watch it at some point.
So I wonder if for this type of movie, if there's a significant amount of people who don't watch animated movies because they're animated and think that they're just for little kids, that would go watch this because it's live action.
I can't even imagine that audience.
So imagine when you try to tell somebody about Avatar and then you're like, oh, wait, but yeah, it's animated. And they're like, oh, yeah, I don't watch animated.
Yeah, but the Disney movies are so well known.
Yeah.
I can't imagine somebody who's an adult enough to make that decision who didn't grow up on Moana, which came out in 2016, by the way.
Yeah.
So not even, it's going to be like 10 years old when this thing comes out.
I mean, I don't think our parents would go to the theaters to watch an animated movie.
Yeah, but would they go to see a live action version of it?
I guess not either. Probably not.
Yeah.
They're less into.
So I really think the entire market that's being created and that we continue to support and continue to share on a podcast like this is the market of like, hey, you already saw it. You liked it. We're going to change some colors and some things. You want to watch it again? And for a lot of us, we're like, the music's good. I like the song. I was even saying today on TikTok, like, I can't wait to see what Shiny looks like. The guy that plays Shiny, I can't remember. That song. Yeah. I love that song so much. That's my favorite one of all of them.
Yeah, mine too.
So that is what we're reacting to. Let's go ahead and go into our main topic of the day, John. So, we have these discussion topics we do.
Yeah.
And they're a hoot.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, we get a lot of good feedback from you guys, and I appreciate that. But because it's my birthday, and I wanted to be lazy, I decided instead of going too deep on any one of them, we're going to go partially deep. These are shallow dives, not deep dives.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we just named the segment, didn't we?
Shallow dives.
Shallow dives. Don't dive in the shallow end.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's dangerous.
We're going to do 5 minutes. You're going to pick a topic out of here, and you have to choose which way you want to defend it, but you're going to have to defend it, and then I'm going to counter you. I'm going to be the devil's advocate.
5 minutes, I think it's plenty of time.
I think that's plenty. Yeah, we'll do like 3 of these and we'll see where we're at. And then if this is something we like to do, we'll do it more often. Yeah. This feels like, I'm always trying to think of convention ideas while we're at a convention. This feels like a convention idea.
Yeah.
So you got 5 minutes. Go ahead and pick your topic out, announce it, and then choose which side you're going to be defending, and then go for it.
All right. My topic is physical media is not coming back in a meaningful way. I think I'm going to fight that. I think physical media is coming back.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
All right, and start.
All right, so I think it's going to be led by millennials, but I think streaming, though it's still very effective, and I don't think streaming is going anywhere anytime soon. I'm pretty sure owning a physical or a hard digital copy, so to speak, like on a hard drive, I think is going to become more and more common. Mm-hmm. Where I already see people like building up their DVD collections again and stuff. But the fact that you can't always access the things on streaming that you want, and streaming services are getting a little more stringent and competitive, and prices
are always going up on the same things.
Yeah, it's not as easy to get the shows that you wanted before. Like when you're looking for a Halloween movie, when Halloween's coming up, and you're like, oh, do I even have the streaming service that has that? Because it's only going to be on one of them and stuff like that. So yeah, I think people are going to, we've already started to see it, but I think in the near future, we're going to see increasing of people wanting to build their DVD collections or a digital collection on their computers.
I think the problem with that is that I think when physical media was a thing, like even late 90s, early 2000s, our lives were a lot slower than they are today. I think today we're way too fast. Even the idea of a movie night is not necessarily something you probably set time aside for, but more like, hey, I got nothing going on tonight. What about you? No, nothing. You want to watch a movie? And I think it's a lot easier just to pop on Netflix, Paramount, or whatever, peruse around their library, see something you don't or you're not familiar with, and put it in comparison to going out to Target and buying a movie for the same price as a month of a streaming service to watch a movie that you might not like. And then suddenly you own a movie forever on your shelf that you might not care for. The gamble's not there anymore. So I think we're beyond physical media in a way that this, by the way, is definitely a topic I'm defending for the sake of this premise. I agree with you, just to throw that out there as somebody who collects physical media. But nevertheless, I think we're beyond the point of physical media because its convenience is no longer valuable to us. We need to be able to go and go.
Yeah, I think people want to have control to some extent of, their access to media. And if you buy it, you don't have to go to, if you like the movie, it might be worth your money to go buy the $20 copy from Target.
Yeah.
But most of the stuff, if I'm going to just try something out, I'm going to a thrift store and find a DVD for $1.
True.
You check it for scratches. If it's not all tore up, then you buy it. And if it's terrible, you can't buy a cup of coffee for $1 anymore. So you just throw it away. It's fine. But, or recycle it. But, it doesn't have to be expensive to explore stuff. And if you find one that you like, you can find Die Hard. You can get the whole collection of Die Hard for like $10 at a thrift store.
Matter of fact, I got it from you for Christmas one year.
Yeah, I see. Like it's not hard to get, not expensive, but little by little, you build them up. With
physical media, though, do you think it's going to come down to its rise? Do you think it's going to come down to the fact that things are not permanent anymore? Like, I think we're now more and more. I think it's more and more obvious now that things that you see digitally are rentals and never purchases. Even if you buy a game or buy a movie online, it's as long as Amazon has the license to offer you Top Gun.
Yeah, I think that's part of the case to get physical media, though, is that it might not be there forever. You know what I mean? The physical media will. If you have the Die Hard DVD 20 years from now, Christmas morning, you want to put on Die Hard, you don't have to log into your Wi-Fi. You have it because you own the copy of it.
What about the fact that the hardware that accompanies physical media, that ages out? So the digital form will always go with me. I just got a new phone, and guess what? All the stuff that I like to watch is on that new phone already because it's all through the social. So, but I have to have a DVD player, a VHS player, a Blu-ray player, and whatever's next if physical media stays around.
Well, if you just need any one of the newest disc players, and they'll play DVDs.
If they're always backwards compatible, but we learn from like the consoles that it doesn't always happen.
True, but so yeah, you need a Blu-ray player or DVD player, whatever you're collecting. But today you can buy a brand new off the shelf from the factory VHS player.
For a lot of money,
$120, something like that. If you compare it to how much they were when they're
about technology, you would assume they go down. As my thing was,
yeah. But yeah, because it's super old technology, but it's also very rare that somebody buys them, so it just makes sense.
The tricky part is the people that make the DVDs and they make all the physical media and the hardware that goes with them. It behooves them to have you replace that stuff every few years. Yeah. So just like the streamers always trying to catch your attention. The next HD DVD, which was a thing that came out, you need to buy a whole new set of physical media for it now.
Yeah, that's why your phone has new charging ports.
Shit,
to go through.
Like, right? Yeah.
Well, what's so much more effective though is the wireless charging now.
Yeah, I use it.
But yeah, I could see it over time.
20 seconds.
Okay, yeah, I could see over time that you're going to get to the point that it's hard to maintain a DVD collection. But I think people are going to still try to. And if you get DVDs and you can like rip them and copy them and save them on your computer, then I think that's where you have the longevity because you'll have it in a hard digital form.
It's funny that's exactly where we're ending on our time because I agree with you is that it all comes down to personal hard drives.
Yeah.
It's the mix of both worlds, I think, is actually where it's at, which is something that I've been doing for a while.
Nice.
So, yeah. All right. What do you think about that format already, John?
Good.
All right.
There's more than enough time, though. I think we could put less time and put more of a...
Well, because when we do the deep dives, we do 15 minutes.
Yeah, true.
So that's why I was like, shallow dives, we do 5.
Yeah.
I thought.
I don't feel like we're rushed, though, but that's fine.
Oh, boy, this is a good one. All right. We could do 3 minutes, but I don't... Yeah, let's do 3 minutes. Let's try it out.
What do you think?
Here we go. All right, here's the topic we're going to be discussing. Critics and audience scores should be hidden for the first week of release.
Ooh.
I'm going to defend this. I think it's right.
Okay,
so you got to go against that.
Okay.
Here we go. I believe that we're ruining the fun of movies and video games. When we release a score about it, and this is somebody who writes these scores. Matter of fact, we've actually removed the numbers on our post, by the way, if you guys have noticed that over the last month. We no longer actually give them a score on the posts. We'll talk about it on the podcast because that gives people time to watch the movie based off of what we said, not a random number we gave it that people scroll past.
Yeah. And
the reason is that is because everybody's attention is so, minuscule nowadays that they could build a bad perception of something based off of maybe the masses, but then you'll never get those cult classics when you do that. Think about Tron Ares. Everybody says it's garbage. I have not watched it because the reviews are so bad. Have you watched it, John?
No.
Reviews are so bad. I love Tron Legacy. Do you like Tron Legacy, John?
Absolutely. And I was excited for Ares until I saw the reviews are so bad.
Tron Legacy got bad reviews too. Same bad reviews, matter of fact.
Yeah.
And yet it's a cult classic. We might actually love Tron Ares, but we're not giving it a shot because, damn it, we see the reviews.
Well, I'm not giving it a shot because, damn it, I saw Jared Leto on the front of it. And I was like, man, if it had his face and raving reviews, then I'd be like, you know what? I'll give it a shot.
Back, baby.
Yeah. Maybe it just looks like Jared Leto and he's somebody better. But yeah, I just haven't given it the time. But I do think that we need to see the reviews because it's like, if you know that you made some poor quality product and you put it out there and you're trying to hide how people are reacting to it so you can hurry up and milk out as much money as you can to make your money back or break even or profitable, that's, not fair to the consumer. So the natural, authentic opinion of people, which is what we're hoping we're getting, we might be skewed for clickbait and stuff like that, but we want the authentic opinion from people immediately so we can judge whether or not it's worth our $15 to go see it in theaters or not.
Yeah.
If you don't get that and you're being manipulated by, oh, it's Moana, it's just another version of Moana, but you love the first one, go pay $15 for that one. It's like, yeah, the first one was $100 million for you guys to make it, and this one's $12 million because this is all AI garbage or something like that. Are they just going to be using that name as clickbait to get us into the theater to make a big profit on us,
Yeah. The only problem though, is we have to worry about intent a lot of times with that. So what you're talking about is the studio's intent to try to sell us on just something other than a score. But what about the people who make articles for us? If you guys are listening to this podcast right now, you are paying me money. If you're a patron member, it's even more, and I really love you. Yeah. But everybody else, because we have sponsors, you hear them in the beginning of this, you'll hear a couple more at the end, and that's paying for the servers. It's paying for a lot of things that we do around here, and we appreciate that. But in that sense, if I give something like Tron a 10, people are going to want to see, like, what the hell is this guy talking about giving it a 10? I got to see what lunatic this is. Or if I give it a 1, oh, we got to hear him talk shit about Jared Leto.
Yeah.
It is more beneficial for me fiscally if I give a wild and crazy review.
Yeah.
So because then you're gonna want to check it out, and I could be just full of crap.
But I think that dramatic reaction warrants a response from people who don't care or who aren't invested. Yeah. But people who follow you because their views align with yours or they appreciate the effort you put into things and they can tell that you're not just making clickbait. Those people are the ones that will listen to it and say, okay, I'm going to go spend the money. Some people also might just go spend the money or not based on it.
Right.
But I think majority of those are going to be just scrolling by and it's like, okay, they got a 1. Okay, move on. Yep, I got a 10. Okay, move on. They don't put much weight into it. But the ones that are going to subscribe to you specifically and listen to your rant about it and stuff like that, they're doing so because they trust your opinion specifically, but not like they're listening to the masses. They're listening to you.
But so one of the reasons that we no longer put numbers on there, first off, I felt guilty about this idea of us becoming, just a scroll thing, but also the idea that like, I realized that we kept putting things at 8 and 7s and we still do on the podcast, but we want to tell you why we're getting it, give you that score. That's why I usually say strong 8, soft 7, soft or whatever around those areas. So I was like, I'm giving it an 8, but it's a different kind of 8 than the other 8 I gave you.
Yeah.
So then it's like, without the number, I could describe to you that this game makes you feel like you're lost in a beautiful, magical world and you just want to soak up the song and the environment.
Yeah.
And the number makes it to where you're not even going to bother reading that sentence because you're going to see the numbers as, oh, he gave it an 8, meaning it's a B. All right, so roll on. Let's see what IGN maybe. Oh, they gave it a 7. They think it's a little bit weaker than Frank. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But now you see that, oh, Frank likes it because it's an open world. Maybe IGN likes it because the combat's real fast.
And I like when I think Thomas does it too, when you guys are explaining something and you're like, you don't necessarily give it a number. You say, if you like this, then you'll like that.
Yeah, I really want to keep on doing that. So much more
effective. Yeah. And then you combine 3 or 4 different things. You're like, oh, it's, like this and that combined. And oh, beautiful. I like all those things. Or I've never played that one game, but we'll try it out.
Yeah. And that's 5 minutes. We were going to do 3, but see, 5 minutes is a good healthy length.
Yeah.
This is a good format, by the way. I'm going to throw that out there. We're going to be doing this again in the future. Yeah. Let's do one more. And then if you guys have any more topic ideas, we can toss into this thing. Yeah. And we'll do deep dives, continue to do deep dives. Yeah. This short dive, it feels good because now all of a sudden I've got opinions I didn't know I had. Or like I got to flush out the opinion I already had, basically. Yeah. That's pretty good. All right, pick the next one.
Gotta work on the name, though. Shallow end.
I think shallow dive is so good.
Shallow dive is dangerous. Or wading, because you're just in the wading pool.
But everybody knows the term deep dive.
Yeah, that's true.
So shallow dive is kind of like, you already know what it's trying to do to you. I don't know, John. I'm already thinking of the freaking art for it, too.
And yeah, we can make them shorter so you can splice them into little TikToks and stuff, too.
Yeah.
Cosplay is now a core part of fandom, not a side activity.
I could really defend either of this one.
Right? That's a hard one to debate. I'm going to say it's not a core part of fandom.
Okay.
I think it is a side activity. I actually think it's its own category altogether. So, cosplay is not a part of fandom. Not a core part of fandom. It is a side activity. So, yeah, I don't think if you're a big fan of something, say you're a Lord of the Rings fan, a lot of Lord of the Rings fans or Star Wars fans or whatever, fans of these big shows and movies love to dress up at conventions. Yeah. We see it all the time. We love to be a part of it and see it and engage with them, take pictures with them and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. But I think majority of the time, these people are cosplayers that also like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. I think it's partially being a cosplayer first and having a fandom second.
Yeah.
Or having a fandom, but also being on the spectrum of, willingness to dress up and cosplay and go out. Cause I don't think you could be the biggest Harry Potter fan, but just be deathly afraid to dress up and pretend in front of other people because So I don't think that cosplay and fandom are necessarily intertwined. I think they work together very well parallel, but I don't think they have to be connected.
I agree with you on the parallel thing. I think it is a core part of fandoms, but it's almost like a feature of the fandom, just like posters are, just like lunchboxes and Funko Pops, maybe, or merch. I'll just say to keep it open. So the idea that so cosplayers have their own fandom in being cosplayers.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate enough to be able to talk to people who cosplay. We've talked to people who have cosplays for them. And we've talked to people who run these conventions. And the convention people want us to take pictures of the cosplayers because it shows community.
Yeah.
But they see that they're not that physically important. But they do want us to show community, and it comes from cosplayers.
Yeah.
People who have a cosplayers cosplay after them, they see it as an appreciation, an elevated appreciation for themselves. And cosplayers themselves find it as a hobby to cosplay no matter what it is of. It's generally not necessarily because they love the property.
Yeah.
That aspect of it worries me. But I do think that if I'm a Star Trek fan and I go to a Star Trek convention, I'm a little more delighted when I see people walking around with the red shirts.
Yeah.
And there's something to that. When you go to a convention and you see the cosplays walking around, it elevates your fandom. It lets you know you're in a place where it's okay to be dorky.
Yeah. And there's other people that are the same kind of geek as you because they like the same thing you like. And you right away in the elevator, you make friends because
like telling you you're in a safe place immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's one good thing about cosplay, especially when the intimidation is low enough that people can do real entry level cosplay and be wearing just the shirt from a character or something
or
like
just
that.
some random elf ears. I see that all the time. We're like, they look normal, but they have elf ears. It's like, hey, they look cool, man.
Yeah. That's cool. I like it. I also think that cosplay has made like such a big impact on conventions that it's kind of like taken over an element at least of conventions where there's a lot of people like you're kind of talking about that go just to cosplay, kind of not caring and not necessarily a specific character, not because they're a super fan of a character, but because they are semi-professional cosplayers.
We've literally interviewed them on this podcast.
Yeah.
And that's their thing, where they buy tickets to conventions and have to make sure to worry about luggage, and like there's levels of cosplay based off the luggage size.
Yeah, they need somebody to help them with the makeup and prosthetics and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So I think that's cool. I don't know if that fandom ever, how often that leads to a career in, set design. Or
it's a movie makeup is where that would go to. But I will say, so that's its own fandom, and it's not like we're ever going to harsh that fandom, because they have their own fandom. Like that is a thing. People go see cosplayers too.
Yeah, and it makes it more fun.
But I'm saying that I think it elevates all other fandoms, but doesn't necessarily need to be attached to them.
Yeah.
So like if I'm at a convention, even if it's not even a fandom that I'm a part of, I'll see people dressed up like anime characters. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm still like, they're having fun.
Yeah.
And that's fun to see other people have fun. Mm-hmm. And it right away tells you, like, if you're seeing that, like, I need to take myself a little less seriously, because I'm next to a guy with a sword that's taller than him.
Yeah.
So I need to probably chill out a little bit and just enjoy myself and unwind. It's like when you're at Disneyland and you see Mickey Mouse, and no matter who you are, you're not going to see that guy and assume like that teenager in there is a real asshole or something like that. You're like, oh yeah, it's Mickey.
Yeah. And the cosplayers put so much effort into their stuff, to be out there and just to show you, just so you can get a giggle out of it and take a picture or something like that. So it's fun to see how much effort they put into something and how excited other people are to run up and take a picture with that character that they like, even though they know it's not the original one, but somebody pretending to be him.
I think we've kind of found a middle on both of our grounds on this one.
Yeah.
Because I think we're both kind of saying the same thing now. Like, cosplayers are awesome. They may not be 100% with something we would do, or part of our fandom directly, but we celebrate them joining us.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
There we go. And that's about 5 minutes right there.
Perfect.
All right, that is a new format, guys, that I am firmly calling Shallow Dives.
Shallow Dives. Wear your helmet.
John, what is your recommendation for the week, man?
Is Welcome to Derry. I don't know if anyone's been keeping up with it. I just saw that.
I got a new one to watch. Don't spoil.
Oh, I just watched it.
All right.
And they're just doing such a good job with
creative, isn't it?
Developing or deepening,
shallow diving into
making the story more deep. Just really good job. I love it.
I haven't watched the latest one. I do like the fact that it's branching out into more Stephen King stuff, and it's making me Google things about Stephen King more.
Yeah.
And because it's one of those things where it's like, I watch every Stephen King movie. Well, good for you. That don't mean nothing. There's so much book stuff out there. But now I'm like doing a research on, like, I don't know, more turtle stuff or whatever, and learning more about it and more about The Shining and stuff. I really got to rewatch The Shining now.
Yeah.
That's a good call, Jonathan. I'm going to recommend that you guys read V for Vendetta. So the anniversary is coming out next year. And they're going to be doing a lot of events for it. They're going to be making a new TV series for it. And they're re-releasing the, I think it's 2003 or 2005 movie in theaters.
Nice.
It's a really interesting story about, near future Britain. US is in collapse. So Britain's kind of where it's all at now. And it's controlled by pretty tight fascist control. And some guy comes out and basically says, you guys got 1 year to get all this stuff out. And it's an amazing story. It's done by Alan Moore, who does Watchmen. So if you like Watchmen, you got a lot of people know V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
November 5th in UK, it's they do the Guy Fawkes Day, and the mask that he's wearing is Guy Fawkes. So they do fireworks and stuff like that. It's a celebration. This guy who goes blowing up the Parliament or going to. But anyways, it's a really fantastic story to think right now. It's a very important story, and Alan Moore is a very prolific writer. Check it out, guys. Yeah. He's prolific's not the right word. He's intentional with his meanings. Like, when he's writing something, it's going to have purpose. To the point now where I'm annoyed by Alan Moore, to be honest with you. Because he's like, oh, all Marvel movies suck because they don't have any meaning. He's like, I need to escape the meanings of my life. I need to see Iron Man punch some people. I don't need to continuously face down the toughest things in our life, because there's a lot of them. So thanks, Alan Moore. We appreciate it. Go back to fighting against Vietnam. Yeah. More fun.
Great. Nice.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys on the next one. All right. Bye.
Bye.